Hi and welcome to Wimborne Boxing Club's channel. I'm Dave, and if this is the first time that with me, I'd like to say welcome, and just to let you know that we post boxing tutorials as well as boxing fitness workouts that you can do from your home. So if you like the sound of that, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell next to it, and you'll be notified every time we post a video. Right, let's jump into today's tutorial. So in today's tutorial, we are looking at the slip. So the slip is a trunk defense that will neutralize your opponent's straight shots and leave you in a position to counterpunch. So we're not going to teach you how to slip. There are other videos on the channel that will teach you how to slip. We are going to show you some of the things that you might want to concentrate on to improve your slip and to have more success in landing your counterpunch. So here are 3 things you need to keep in mind. So point number 1 is to always keep your eyes on your opponent. So we are trying to obviously move the head off the center line, off the punch line, off the firing line. It's called a few different things, but it means exactly the same. An imaginary line that splits you and your opponent in half. Any straight shot will travel down that center line, that punch line. So you know if you move your head to the left or to the right of that line, any straight shot's going to miss you. So that is what a slip is. However, when we're slipping, we are rotating the body and twisting the body to allow the shot to miss us. What we want to make sure of is that we are not taking our eyes off the opponent and our head is not twisting with our body. So let's say we're slipping a left-handed shot and I'm going to slip obviously to my right to make it miss. Boom. Now naturally my head wants to turn with my body, which means I'll be facing to my right when my opponent is straight down the center. I never want to take my eyes off my opponent. I want to know what they're doing at all times. So the first tip is to make sure when we slip that we are always keeping our eyes firmly fixed on our opponents. We know what they're doing and we know how to counterpunch and what we can do next. So tip number 1 is keep your eyes on your opponent at all times. Number 2 is to not overslip. The idea of a slip is to just make that punch miss you. In an ideal world, that glove just skims your ear. That means that you've slipped just enough and you've now got the opportunity to counterpunch and you're not wasting any time, any effort, any energy. Now, if I do a big slip and drop all the way down here, the punch, yes, it's going to miss me, but by the time I've set my feet and able to return fire, my opponent is going to have his or her hand straight back on the chin or is going to be moved out of range. So not only are we slowing down the counter or the chance of a counter, but we're also using a lot of energy and a lot of excess energy. And we really want to be energy efficient when we box because it's a tough sport, it's energy demanding. And if we can save energy with certain moves or limiting certain moves, then we want to be able to do that. And overslipping is one way in which you can conserve your energy. So do not overslip. And the last point, that leads nicely onto the last point, and that is make sure that you've shifted the weight correctly. So not only are you balanced, but you are able to counterpunch fast and effectively and generate good power. So what do we mean by transferring the weight? Okay, so when we're slipping and we want to transfer the weight, what we mean by that is if we are slipping a left-handed shot, we're in this position here and we'll drop down. Right now, my rear leg is loaded, which allows me then to come back up off of the slip and throw a nice fast rear hand. So I'm here, slip, boom. I can throw that rear hand nice and fast. Slip, boom. I'm nice and balanced. After that rear hand, I can move, I can throw other punches. At all times I'm balanced, the rear leg is loaded. If I'm slipping the right hand, as the right hand comes in, I'm dropping. So I'm taking my head off the center line. Now my left leg, my hips are turned, my left leg's loaded, and straight off of that slip, I can come in with my own counter punch. But what I've done is I have shifted the weight enough so I'm able to fast and effectively counter punch with obviously the correct shot and the shot of choice. I may slip to my left and move the right. I may have closed the gap and now I might dig to the body. Likewise, I might slip the jab and again the gap's decreased. I can dig to the body or I might slip and come upstairs to the head. But I can choose which punch I want to throw because the weight has been transferred properly, I'm balanced, I'm in a position now to choose the punch I want to use, and I can use it effectively and I can use it safely. Okay, so they're my 3 tips, but there is a little bit extra that I have been asked before. And when you see people slip, naturally, some people will drop the hand, maybe the opposite hand to the way they're slipping. For example, if they're going to slip a right-handed shot, you might see them drop their lead hand slightly off their chin, boom. Or if they're slipping a right-handed shot, you may see them drop the right hand. Now, some people do this because they feel it makes their head movement faster. They feel sometimes having the gloves up slows the head movement down. And I'm not going to give you an exact answer. I'm just going to talk through maybe some of the pros and cons. So the major pro, like I said, for a lot of people that choose to do this is they feel that they're faster, they can get ahead of the centre line quicker and return fire. So that may be one reason why you choose to do it. Now, to me, I don't think it's a choice. I think it's something that you either do or you don't do. I think if you're thinking about it, then you probably don't naturally want to do it. If you're a novice, I definitely recommend beginning to learn the slip with your hands up. And then as you get into sparring and more reaction-based drills, see what happens. See how you feel. Maybe naturally your lead hand or your backhand drops as you slip, but let your body mechanics decide that rather than you, if that makes sense. I'd say the thing to really watch out for is if I'm dropping, let's say I'm dropping, I'm slipping there, right? So I'm dropping my right hand here. I've now got to be careful as I come back to the centre line. Their next shot, more than likely, is going to be a left-handed shot or a left hook. So if I've dropped here and I'll come back up to the centre line with my right hand down, it's a good chance I'm going to face a left-handed shot with an exposed chin. Likewise, if I drop my left as I move away from their right, as I come back onto the centre line, I'm now looking at their right-handed shot. So if I'm slipping away from their left hand and I'm dropping my left, as I come back up to the centre line, I could be faced with a right hand and an exposed chin. So to me, that's what you've got to be really careful about if you're dropping your hands when you slip. But like I say, let your body decide. Don't you decide because you've seen someone else do it and you think that's the best way to do it. Cool, so that is the end of the slipping tutorial. Hope you got something from it. If you did, hit the thumbs up. Please feel free to comment any questions or just let us know how you found it. Or if you've got something else you want me to cover, comment below and I'll try and get a video out for you. Thanks very much for taking the time out to watch the video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and then go check out one of these 2 great videos.